William is Charles's son, and Harry is very much Diana's son. Because think about it, and you realize that he is not taking anything away from William, but Harry processed his mother's death very differently than William did. William had another track. William was and is preparing to be king. Harry admits he had a line, a throwaway line, that I want you guys to listen closely when he says it. And Addie, I don't know if you heard this. He said, talking about mourning his mother, he goes, "I was left alone to process my mother's death," which tells me the infrastructure of the palace were not there. You know, they were rightfully so constant. It's not a fault of William, but that's why if you have watched your mother go through what we all watched Diana go through, and if you're Harry and your mother got killed because of that, wouldn't you do everything in your power to prevent that happening to your wife and child? And that's exactly what Harry did. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I walked away a bigger fan because I have a much better appreciation for what they really went through. I really do.
And they produce, they're all on board with this,
which,
right?
Look, you got to take it with a grain of salt. This is through their lens. But think about this. We've only heard their story through the mechanism of the palace and the gross tabloid press. Don't you think they have a right to tell their story? Go watch it on Netflix.
Back in 2019, Will and Kate briefed to the press that they were going to send Harry and Meghan to the continent of Africa on the guidance of Simon Case. They were hoping to push Harry and Meghan out of the limelight, who were overshadowing the future king and consort. Harry actually loves that part of the planet, and that was one of the reasons why he was appointed in 2016 as the president of African Parks. Also, Harry and Meghan fell in love there, so I'm sure it would have been a lovely assignment. So, poor Willie. On the one hand, he was receiving intel that Prince Harry and Meghan's influence would fade, and then on the other hand, he was being told that Prince Harry and Meghan were about to be bigger than Princess Diana. And in reality, it really doesn't matter where Harry and Meghan went on the planet. They were definitely going to be more influential than Will and Kate. In 2023, Harry was promoted from being president to being a member of the board of directors, at which time one of those board members, possibly Prince Harry, reported some allegations of abuse against the local people, which enacted a zero-tolerance investigation to act upon any possible findings. This week, Prince Harry attended an event that promoted initiatives that support the local people, the climate, and the wildlife of Africa. If you're also very grateful about the work that Meghan's husband does, don't forget to leave your comment. Do you wonder who's going to get the boot for this mistake? Not only were there no plebeians thronging the streets to get a gander at the future King of England, but also the venue was ill-advised. It's also been reported that Prince William's vanity project, Earthshot, which was held in New York City last year and is supposed to be held again this year in New York City, will not have Prince William in attendance, which is just as well, because Prince Harry will be in New York around that time with a series of very important charity events. One of them being an event held by the World Health Organization with Queen Mathilde, a distant relative. It was a UN General Assembly's dinner highlighting the mental health advocacy for survivors of childhood trauma. And although we are not privy to Meghan's whereabouts, we can imagine that she is busy with her babies. Some eagle-eyed fans noticed a little tuft of red hair in this photograph, which could possibly be Prince Archie. If you're like me and you're also hoping that she is focusing on the hard launch of American Riviera Orchard, don't forget to leave your comment. During Prince Harry's very busy New York week, he was photographed FaceTiming his family before he took the stage. This day was all about honoring his mother, Princess Diana's legacy of work. Here he is on a panel with the CEO of the Diana Award, Dr. Tessie Ojo, along with some of the recipients of the award. Later on in the day, he spoke directly to the audience about the Halo Trust, a project that his mother was very passionate about. Prince Harry mentioned his 2019 trip to Angola, where he was honored to walk in his mother's footsteps. If you're also very grateful that Prince Harry is reminding the world that it was Princess Diana that showed us that service is universal, don't forget to leave your comment.
Hello, my people. Lady Rose here. How y'all doing? To all my new subscribers, you're welcome, and my returning subscribers, you all know I love you, guys. So you heard all the juice. So just imagine the venue where this dude William held his meeting. The white powder dealer. Those are the people that this dude actually hangs around with. I don't believe this guy is sane and sober. Just, look at him. There is something wrong with this guy. Something wrong with him. So he is actually the one who hangs around the people with white powders. That, it ain't no Harry hanging around these people. It's this one here, the future king. He's hanging around all those bad people with the Columbia white powder. Which one do they? There's one of them a long time ago when I was in psych school, they used to call angel dust. I'm not sure which one it is. I forgot all those stuff. There are some tests where you have to read a book with all the code names for those white powders. They have lots of some cute names out there. Angel dust. That book used to, what was the name of that book? Uppers and downers and all-arounders. Can you imagine? That's the book where they have the name and labels for all those powders we're talking about. So this guy went to Scotland. And how did he end up using that venue? That belongs to a dealer. The powder dealer. I saw this dude's picture with the PDD also. I wonder why nobody is saying his name. A long time ago, they just came around here with nonsense 2 minutes with the Prince Harry's name. And that kid was innocent. He was not even the one who threw the party. The person who threw the party with Diddy and Kanye West was this one here. Bully. He been hanging around these people. That's why he's been fighting his brother terribly, because he knows he is lying about everything that they're saying about that kid. He is the one who hangs around the white powder. And now, one day, don't be surprised when somebody's gonna say he was actually the one using those powders. And we'll see what England is gonna say about it when all the truth is gonna come out. Because if I do not use those white powders, how come I'm hanging out with those people and renting their space to run for my meetings? How? How is that happening? How did that happen? So there's this article here. I believe you read it on there, on one of those Pivoty videos. So apparently, Bully and his wife, when leaked to the media, they wanted Prince Harry and Meghan to go far in Africa. Well, Africa and Europe are not really that far away. They are really close. America is far from those places. But Africa is super close. There are neighbors there. There are some African countries that are neighbors with direct European countries, the European Union countries, like Spain down there. Spain with some northern African countries are neighbors. I don't know if it's Algeria, Morocco, or one or the other. Look at the geography. So Africa ain't not that far away. And had you pushed them to go to Africa, but I tell you what, them people would be way off. Because Africa's got all the minerals. Africa's got diamond. Africa's got gold. Africa's got cobalt, uranium, the coal understand that's making these phones I'm using right here, the phone you have in your hands, these new computers, they are all built with minerals coming from out of Africa. Africa ain't not poor the way people lie to y'all guys. Do you research? How are the Western countries surviving? How are they living? How are they getting all those minerals to build every single thing that they're sitting on, getting all this wealth? They are getting them on the back of Africa. So I don't know when these people do sit them ugly behind down and sit down there, try to say those nonsense about Africa. Africa is feeding you. Africa built your monarchy. Africa buried every single one of your grandparents. Come ask me how. I'm going to tell you how. You do not know your history. If you have hard time understanding your own history, because y'all guys started all those nonsense wars around and burnt the history books. But guys, let me tell you, bully, you need to come and sit on the other side of the chair. I'ma teach you. You need a lesson. Africa built everything that you are, except the only DNA that's running through the body. But every single thing you have in that palace came from Africa and India. Come here, make a video, tell the people, tell the world I'm lying. So he was thinking pushing Harry and Meghan out of Africa, those people would be broke. Man. You need education. You went and learned history. Apparently both of you and your wife have degrees, master's degree in history, where you go to school and write a thesis. Okay, well, there are some master's program with no thesis. Maybe that's what he graduated from. Those ones there. But at least he graduated from history school. He should know better. He thought pushing Harry out of England to Africa, he was going to be like a poor. You were going to make that guy a billionaire, I tell you that. All right, let me just tell you that. Ask the Chinese. Where are the Chinese right now? Where are the Lebanese right now? Ask them. There are none in them countries. All the Chinese millionaires, billionaires, they're all down in Africa right now. You hanging your little beards, 2 beards on here, hanging around Brexit. Everybody else is becoming broke in your country, and yet you are sitting on that money. You Brexited because y'all know you have some mining happening somewhere in Africa. And you know what I'm talking about. Ask the Chinese. The Chinese are not just building roads, they're building schools in Africa right now. Those people are digging minerals. That's where you have all the gold. All the reserve for diamond, for God's sake. The uranium, you name it. All those periodic table minerals are all in Africa in large quantity. I don't know why that Africa is still poor right now. That thing confuses me. It does. I wish, Prince Harry, you're going to look for something to do. Look for something. Build some office in Africa. And hire some African people. Those are engineers. What do they call them? Engineers. Get you 10 of them. Did you get that great grandma's money? Did you get that check? If you got it, move down there. Invest the money in Africa. Where you gonna buy $1 gold kilogram? With probably only, I'm not gonna say the amount, but Megan, do some research. Y'all need to look for those Chinese people who are down there in Africa. Get into business with them. And show these people of yours, Megan, show your brother-in-law that Africa made them who they are. Africa built their palaces. Africa built all the crown that they wear on them damn heads. Our diamonds from Africa. One day when we're gonna come for those diamonds, you won't like us. Those diamonds came from South Africa. And yet y'all had an apartheid against us in South Africa. And got Nelson Mandela locked up for 27 years. Dude, we just so nice. And we still out here smiling with you. I'll talk to y'all guys again tomorrow. I do not want to talk too much here. You know, this thing boils my blood in a really bad way. So please subscribe to Isabella Beck's channel and subscribe to my brother Baron's channel. I love you guys very much. I'm going to talk to you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.